everybody, this is Jean, and I wanted to show you that that swap that I did with Janet Nash, and she sent me this cover. She sent me this cover she made, and she glued all these pieces of fabric in a patchwork pattern, and then while it was on the deli paper, she did all of the stitching. So there are all these little stitches and things here all around the squares and the different features. She did that while it was glued down to deli paper. Then when all the stitching was done, she glued it onto a greeting card. And the greeting card, this was the cover of the greeting card. So she put the greeting card inside out, and she left the cover on the inside. And so that was what she sent me. And then she sent me some goodies to go with it. So what I did is I just made it into a journal. And it doesn't take any time to put junk papers together. So I had a few junk papers, and I'm going to show you what I did. And the very first page here, these are papers that she sent me. She sent me a very large jelly plate, or papers that she had done with her jelly plate, and just beautiful. And I think those are ginkgo leaves, ginkgo tree leaves. I'm not positive if I'm correct. The reason that I am not sure about it is because when I was doing all these leaf things with my kids, they were all in elementary or junior high, or in school still, and now they're in their 40s. So I'm thinking that if I remember right, that was a ginkgo leaf. And anyway, and she did that in jelly plate, and it's so autumny. I told her I wanted to make an autumn journal, and that I would like an autumn cover. And then she sent me some tissue paper. If I remember right, it might have been wrapped in that tissue. So I used that. This paper here, pulled these pages out to make one of my monthly journals this year, one of my dailies. And so I had a bunch of this paper left, and it was exactly the right size. And I like leaving the holes at the top. Okay, and then this page here is a vintage map from the 60s of the Holy Lands. So I used that because it was nice and colorful, and I liked that. And then I put another piece of that paper in between. And then I used a book page from Mary Engelbright, and it has drawings on it, and then some text that I can glue over. And then Janet also sent me some pages. It's not really stenciling. What she did is it looks like what she did is she put ink on leaves and then pressed them onto paper to make patterns. And it was so pretty, and I thought, oh, that's just perfect for in this journal. Just the right color. And then I like to have a variety of types of paper, so I put in one of my kind of throwaway watercolors that I did on this watercolor paper. And so that was a good way to use up some trash, some of my trash, just like this is some of my trash. And this again is another one of those ones. And if you can see, I'm not sure what you would call that. It's not really stenciling. I know there's a name for it, and I'm sorry I can't think of it. But you can see she used something with gold in it, and it just is so shiny and pretty. It's just so pretty. I just love it. And you can actually see it bled through, so it has the design and the pattern on the back. And I think that is so, so interesting. Now, I did some, and I am not sure, but I did some something similar to this. I saw somebody else do it on YouTube, and so I did some similar to it, and then I added to it. And I should have thought to bring those out for this video, but I'll show you that in another video. Unfortunately, for leaves, they're getting pretty scarce about now. But anyway, that is great, and that is so nice for this journal. Makes a great page. This is a page from Daphne's diary. And it's about how to clean out your closet and what to get rid of and how to get rid of things. And I kind of thought I'd like to save that page. So here's some of the things that you maybe want to get rid of if you're answering no to those questions. And anyway, it's just kind of a nice page to have. And then this is another whole article about how it was way back in the early 60s or late 50s, early 60s about doing photography and having to wait for pictures to be developed and so forth. I used her, this was a printed out stamp, but I liked it and I used it. This is the envelope here, and I peeled it off. This was where it was originally, but I peeled it off because it was on crooked. And, you know, I paste everything on crooked, but this was really crooked. So I peeled it off and I put it on straight. And what I did is I covered up my address there. Then while I was making this, I had some scraps on the table, so I made a little cluster. And I opened up this side of the envelope. Oh, this side was already open. This is how I took everything out, because I'm learning to cut things on the side so that so the tops and bottoms are still good. And of course I liked her washi. That was the washi tape that was on it. So that was fun. I tried to incorporate almost everything that she sent. She did send me a little piece of bunting, which I used in my November diary, my November book. Let me see if I can get it out. I'm giving you a sneak peek here of November. Here we go. This is a piece of the bunting, and I used it for that day because that was the day that I got it. And she sent me this little tag with her note on the back. So so that was fun. And both of those could have gone in this one, but I hadn't made it, and I also wanted to mark the day that I got it. So that also came, and I do think it would have been very cute, but I maybe will make some bunting from the way she made it and put it in here. Now, this was stenciled on the back of the envelope, and this washi there, and so I did not want to lose that. And again, can you see it just shimmer and how beautiful that is? And then it looks like she stamped a face, a happy face, and I'm not sure what that is. I'm just not sure what that is, but it's stamped on there, and maybe it's a paw print. It kind of looks like a paw print to me. Anyway, and then this was the center of the book, and you know what? I put this book together because I couldn't really make big holes in the fabric on the other side. I just used regular thread, and I doubled it, and then I went in and out of the holes twice so that it's in there. It's really sturdy, and it was very easy to do. It was actually it was amazing how easy it was to put it together. And I happen to have this, and it just fit in really nice with the theme of the book and the colors and all that. And I'm trying to remember where I got this. She didn't send this. I'm trying to remember if somebody else sent it or if I found it in some of my stuff, because I've been sorting through some of my stuff. But anyway, this has come to light, and I wanted to use it somewhere, and this was the perfect journal to use it. And I love how it looks. See there? Isn't that just so pretty? It's just absolutely adorable. I love it. So so that was great. And I only had, well, I did have a little bit longer piece that I had snipped off and used in my November journal, and you'll see that later when I show you that when November's over. But anyway, that's the center page, and I have to say I am just in love with that. I had the lace, and that was just a little bit of extra. I covered up her address. This is the back side of the envelope, and then a little magazine page, just filled in that nicely. Now this is the other side of the Daphne Diary page. And this is the yes side of should I keep this. So when you're cleaning out closets, you have a diagram on why you should keep things, and then a diagram on why you shouldn't. So that was fun. And then of course this is again your paper, and the stenciling did come through, the ink came through on the back and made a pattern. So there it gives me a start. I don't have a blank white page. I have a nice start there. But look how pretty that is. And again, it has a shimmer to it, and it's just so pretty. Now I can see the shimmer really well when I tip it this way, but I don't know if you can on the camera. So I'm trying to tip it always so that you can see that shimmer. And then I used the rest of the tissue and just glued it onto this blank page. So it has a start. And then it had some words here. And the night hemisphere is often better at dealing with novel information, or the right hemisphere. They're talking about your brain, I guess, or your right side, left side. The right hemisphere is often better at dealing with novel information than the left. So unfamiliar pictures, for example, as opposed to familiar icons, such as a circle with a line through it, meaning no. Now, okay, I don't know what that exactly means. It just means that your right side of your brain is better at dealing with the unfamiliar and the novel ideas, and your left side of your brain is best at dealing with things that you are already familiar with. And that's kind of an unfamiliar, because that's the drawing I did a long time ago that I didn't care for. So I never used it anywhere or put it in a book or did anything. It was just kicking around, and I was going to just paint on the back side. So I thought, well, I'll put it in here, and maybe I'll leave that or paste over it or whatever. Not sure, because I haven't used it yet. We'll just have to see what happens to it. But we've got a nice placed watercolor here on this side, and wherever that was back here, it was back here, something right here. So we have a nice blank side watercolor on there too. And then this definitely can be glued over, because there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So anyway, so that's the other side there. And then again, we have the pattern coming through here, and the pretty leaves. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that interesting? It's probably a broken leaf there. And this is just a partial leaf, and another partial leaf, and another partial leaf. So, so yeah, I really like that. And it's just so fallish and festive, and I am just loving this. And I'm thinking I'm just going to enjoy this journal just as it is until next fall, and then I will use it, because sometimes I just like to enjoy things just the way they are. Because it's really too late to start another fall journal, because next week we will be headlong into Christmas and Christmas journaling and Christmas everything. Once Thanksgiving is over, that's just it for me. So so I will be saving this, and it'll be so nice to have around. Here's the other side of my Mary Engelbreit page, and we've got a nice little illustration there and some text that I can glue over, and then a little picture that is just very cute, and it has her name, Mary Engelbreit, up there. And I used some because when I took it out of the book, it almost all, you know how when you pull it out, you have all that cut space on the fold. So I used a real wide washi tape for that, and I used a fall color. Now here's another little saying that was in this book that I tore all the pages out of. It says, "Go through the alphabet slowly in your head while counting the number of letters that, as capitals, have curves. If this is easier for you than counting the number of letters that rhyme with B, you may tend to be a right brain thinker." So if it's easier for you to see how many letters rhyme with B, you're a left brain thinker. And if it's easier for you to count the number of letters that have curves as capitals, you're a right-hand thinker. As you can see, I didn't use this book because it's somewhat confusing. It's not really confusing when you read it and you're in that mode, but just jump in and read it. But the reason I have it in here is I like the text. I like the handwriting, and that's why I saved these pages, because I thought the handwriting was so pretty. And you know, and the color was right. The color was right. That's why I put so many of them in, kind of in between, to kind of separate like this page from this page, because they didn't really look that great together, but they look nice in between. So that's why I put the plain paper in between with that pretty text. And anyway, it came out perfectly, and it was exactly the right size, and I love the holes. Again, I'm going to keep saying that. And this is the other side of the map of the Holy Lands. And I love the color, and it's funny because it looks like it's a little crooked there, and I probably maybe will cut that so it's a little straighter. Because on this side, it's exactly right. It's exactly straight. So anyway, so that's that. And then again, we have more of that those funny thoughts, and the back of the, this is actually the front of the greeting card. So, I'm going to show you the cover, just nice little close-up here again. I did put enough pages in here that if you wanted to use it for a monthly, it has more than 31 pages. So it can be used easily that way. I've had a little bit of trouble with some of the ones that I've picked out and had to add pages. But anyway, isn't it just so pretty? Just so pretty. So that is the little journal I made from my journal cover swap with Janet Nash. So, hey, that's it. That's just my quick little video to show you that, and I hope you like it. Bye-bye.